This is a CBC podcast. Get your daily dose of Canadian history from the CBC Digital Archives. Complete with clips from radio and television, find out what happened in the On This Day section at cbc.ca/archives.
It's not every day we hear Bill Cosby on the St. John's Morning Show, but that's going to change. We asked to speak to the comedian when we heard he's the newest big fan of Lanier Phillips. Now, you may recall Phillips is the black American serviceman who was rescued by the people of St. Lawrence after his ship, the USS Truxtun, ran aground there in 1942. Until then, Phillips was a lifelong victim of racism, and he often tells how the experience in Newfoundland changed his life. Cosby was so impressed with Phillips' story, he recently asked Lanier Phillips to join him on stage, and our own Suzanne Woolridge spoke to Bill Cosby yesterday.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Cosby. How are you?
Okay.
It's Suzanne Woolridge at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in St. John's, Newfoundland.
No.
Honest to God.
Oh, boy.
I was speaking with Lanier Phillips this week, and I was amazed to find out that he has now really a connection to you. And I'd like to talk to you about that if I could.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my first question is, how did you hear about Lanier?
It might have been a connection with Rachel Maddow's parents, who had mentioned the story. And then I wanted to know more because I thought it was the story of this black man and these women who had never seen this color skin before, but trying to scrub it off and clean it, which it turns out to be not a novelty story, as much as a story about a change that comes to a human being because of a difference in the way the human being is treated, and how it opens up very positive feelings in the human being.
What did you think of him when you met him backstage at the theater there in Virginia?
Well, first of all, he's in his 80s. He's 86. I thought he was physically very healthy and mentally very, very clear, and a man who has a story, a personal story, who tells it, even the parts where the American government is so harsh in mistreating him because of his color, and what he had to live through from the day he was born until that day came in Newfoundland when he was born again.
Because of the loving way that he was treated.
Absolutely.
And it's like the women and the people in St. Lawrence, Newfoundland really were his saviors in a lot of ways.
No doubt. The men and the women. See, I was stationed in Newfoundland.
Yes, at Argentia.
That's right. And I was a hospital corpsman there. And I remember a gentleman who fell and broke his nose, and it came in, and I was the corpsman to check him in. And when it got to religion, I said, "Now, what is your religion?" He said, "Salvation Army." And I said, No, what is your religion?" He said, "Salvation Army, sir." And I said, "No, look. You got to either be Protestant or Jewish or, and he said, no, sir. And I just thought, well, maybe the fall had hurt him because I was ignorant. And I went back to the doctor on duty, and the doctor said, "Oh, yes, the Salvation Army is very, very strong here." So I went back out and I apologized to him.
What else do you remember about your days in Newfoundland?
Well, there wasn't much. I didn't. The ride of 60 miles or so to St. John's, in my day, in the late 50s, that road was not enough that I wanted to ride. And from what I heard about that road, I mean, I don't know what shape you would be in to do anything once you got to St. John's. So for the short time I was there, which was about 4 months, I just stayed on the base. The only time I left was to go into Philadelphia and represent the base at the pin relays. And everybody looked at my sweatsuit, which said Argencia, and they kept asking me if I was from Argentina.
It sounds like Lanier Phillips' story has had a profound effect on you.
Look, we had some very prominent people in our room when I played his DVD, and these people were very, very moved by it. There's no way when you listen to his story, there's a superiority of anything except human beings helping human beings. And these Newfoundland people, I also thought to myself, well, wait a minute. You need to play this all around Canada because there's a plethora of quote-unquote Newfie jokes. And I think this story alone will place the Newfoundlanders in the hearts of Canadians in a different light. Because it's very, very interesting that the Newfoundlanders, may also be placed similar to what his position was in the United States, although not as closely.
Sometimes we say that Newfie isn't the other N word. Sometimes we say that.
No, it isn't. It isn't. People toy with that. I don't think so, and I'm not saying I don't think so because I'm rating something higher than. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's not.
You don't lynch Newfoundlanders.
I really appreciate your time today.
If my ship or plane ever crashes, you guys owe me 4 beautiful women for the scrub down. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care.
That's CBC's Suzanne Woolridge speaking with Bill Cosby yesterday. Sounded like a bit of a lunch date because I'm pretty sure he was eating throughout that whole thing.
For more on all of our CBC podcasts, head